the video of him right after the incident. Let's get into it.
Oh, hello, hello. David, talk to me. Is he alive? Is he breathing?
He's not breathing. He's dead.
But why, David? Why?
The fighting on the way home was unbearable, and we got here, and just from one second to the next, he was going to go to the Keys. He was going to go with Jacob. He was going to fight girls. Would it be okay if girls go and sleep over? I said no, and I told him no, and I was going to go over there tonight and make sure. He said, well, all right. You know,
I'm sorry.
it's not your fault, Odie.
Julie heard you. Julie heard you. Julie heard you. I'm sorry.
It's not your fault, Odie. Please call my brother. I just talked to him.
Where's your brother?
Please.
Where's your brother? He's gonna go to jail.
To Miami, where this father ends up pleading guilty to killing his son. It was happened 2 years ago, and he's finally in court to, I guess he finally wants to get it over with and move on with his life eventually, but move on in jail. The best place to say it. But let's get over into it.
That father agreed to a plea deal in the case. CBS News Miami's Maribel Rodriguez is your reporter live at the courthouse in Miami with what happened in court this morning. Maribel.
Naja, just a heartbreaking story. Right now, they are taking a 5-minute recess. But we're talking about a father accused of killing his son, a 21-year-old Eric Contreras, back in November of 2023 at their home in Kendall. And this morning, that father, David Contreras, appeared in court for a plea hearing. We have yet to hear from the judge as far as that plea. But according to investigators, at around 2 p.m. on November 3rd of 2023, they received a 911 call from David Contreras, the father. It was a Saturday morning about a domestic dispute, and when police arrived, according to the arrest report, they found his son, Eric, dead. And today, here in court, we're talking about 36 of his friends who loved him speaking out before a judge.
I would like to take this time to address David, whom I haven't spoken to in well over 3 years. David, while I will always speak out against what you did, I would like to take this opportunity to forgive you. The Bible tells us that we are to forgive others if we want to be forgiven ourselves. It also mentions that God will repay. Justice, or the lack thereof, is not ours to serve. There's not a sin on this earth that you will not forgive, and I invite you to confess yours to him. I hope you redeem what is left of your life by finding salvation in Jesus Christ, and I firmly believe that Eric would have wanted the same for you.
Eric was the kind of person everyone gravitated toward. Eric wanted to experience everything life had to offer, and he made sure the people that he loved were right there with him.
And that father, David Contreras, is being charged with second-degree murder. However, we are hearing, and this is not confirmed, he could be pleading to a lesser charge of manslaughter. However, the judge is still hearing the victims speaking on behalf of their son. So that is going to take quite some time because there are more than 36 of Eric's friends speaking on his behalf. Eric was an FIU student and also a graduate of Christopher Columbus High School. We, of course, will keep you updated on this story.
What can drive a man to kill his own son? And the fact that they have 20 of his close friends just telling him, explaining how much they meant to him. Yeah, he meant to them. It's a tragic situation. Let's go over to this next video and just get a little bit more information on it.
Father who confessed to fatally shooting his son in Kendall is back in court.
He took a plea deal today in this case. Local 10's Jeff Derdarian live in Miami with these details. Jeff.
Hey there, guys. Yeah, family shattered, heartbroken. There's some kind of an argument that started all of this between a father and a son, changing a lot of lives forever. Let's take you now inside the courtroom from today. David Contreras changing his plea to guilty on a manslaughter charge. He pled guilty to manslaughter in the shooting death of his son, 22-year-old Eric. Now, Contreras will serve 12 years in state prison. Again, there was some kind of a fight back in November of 2023. Contreras, the father, called 911 himself after the gunshot went off. It also appears, based on what we heard in court, there had been a history of arguing between the two. The judge, first he spoke, and then this woman said she wanted to talk about the love and admiration she had for Eric and wishing that he was still here.
You're pleading guilty to the amended information of manslaughter, deadly weapon, with a deadly weapon?
Yes.
I will not allow this sentencing to minimize the impact of Eric's life. And I ask for everyone to recognize here the depth of what was taken from me, from Eric, and for all of those that loved him.
Now, my first thing is, so he pled guilty to manslaughter, which I can never understand how you can pull a gun on somebody, shoot, unless it's like an accidental shot, and then that not being expecting them to die from that. Because now listen to the definition of manslaughter versus murder. So in the U.S., the primary difference between murder and manslaughter is the perpetrator's intent and mindset. Murder involves premeditation or malice, intent to kill. Manslaughter is killing without malice, often committed in the heat of passion or due to recklessness or negligence. Now, even if it's the heat of the passion, however they wanted to word it, you pull a gun on somebody, that sounds like murder to me, but hey, let's keep going into this.
The hearing just ending a couple of minutes ago, Contreras led away and handcuffed. He will begin to serve his prison sentence starting today. Also, a powerful moment in the courtroom, really quick, between the judge and Contreras. I've been doing this a long time. I've never seen a judge call out someone, a defendant in court. He asked him specifically, Mr. Contreras, do you want to say anything to all of the people that are in the courtroom who are not happy with what has happened, who feel as though you've been selfish, and also other things that Contreras may have done along the way, according to the judge? There was a little bit of a break. Contreras then thought about it. He talked with his lawyer. Then after the break, we went back into the courtroom, and Contreras did speak. He did not say a lot, but he said, I have to live with this, Judge. We'll have more first at 3 on air and online. We're live.
Now, question: do you think he was selfish in the fact that he waited till he could get a manslaughter plea to plead guilty? Because I bet 100% that the prosecutor offered him or asked him to plead guilty with a murder charge, but of course he said no. He talked to his lawyer. They said if you hold out, you probably can get a manslaughter charge. But does he deserve manslaughter charge? Let's get over into the AI breakdown just to get a little bit more information on this whole case. It's a tragic situation no matter how you look at it. But a father ended up killing his son. So we can know that David, 54, pleaded guilty to manslaughter with a deadly weapon for the 2023 shooting of his son Eric. As part of the plea deal that reduced the original second-degree murder charge, he also got 12 years in Florida State Prison, 10 years of probation, no early termination of his probation. So most likely he got to serve half of that to be ordered for parole. So here's the whole case background. We got after the return from a family trip to Disney World, an argument between the father and son escalated. David shot his 21-year-old son, a construction management student at the Florida International University multiple times. He called 911 immediately after the shooting, telling dispatcher he just lost it. His attorney previously argued that the shooting was related to the son's struggle with mental health and claimed that the father had suffered years of abuse, though the prosecution disputed these characteristics. During the emotional sentencing hearing, we had several of his friends and his girlfriend provide victim impact statements. So you see how I'm still confused on how this whole part, it says David shot his 21-year-old son multiple times. I can never understand how someone can shoot someone multiple times, and that's clearly listed in the police statement, but it's still called manslaughter and not murder. They don't. Most likely they offered him a plea deal because they didn't believe that they could get a second-degree murder charge. But I mean, I don't know what else. It just sounds like murder to me. But hey, let me know your thoughts on that situation, y'all. Let me know how you feel about it. Do you think that manslaughter is the right charge for this kind of thing? Even though he shot him multiple times, can the heat or the anger be so high that it outrages that it out makes you not think? Let me know your thoughts, y'all. Let me know your thoughts and let me know if you disagree with anything I said.